If you've ever sold on Etsy, like me, you may have found it very difficult to get a grip on what your daily profits are. So what your profits are after all of your Etsy fees and your own expenses, maybe on a daily basis, a weekly or a monthly basis. When a transaction happens, there's multiple different ways that you can define transaction as well on Etsy, but when a basic sale happens in your account, there's a lot of different things being computed in the back end. You have transaction fees, you have listing fees, you have payment processing fees, and then those fees get charged differently, whether it's including sales tax, including shipping, including gift wrapping. If a refund happens, there's certain credits that are going on. If a shipping label was purchased, there's credits for shipping labels, there's adjustments for shipping labels, there's ad credits from partial and full refunds. There's all these things happening on a constant hourly, daily basis inside your account. And to account for that manually in real time on a day-to-day basis is really, really difficult. So in this video, we get to finally share with you the first automatic solution to this problem. Over the last year and a half, my team and I have put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building a solution to this problem. As an Etsy seller myself, with somebody that had hundreds of listings with thousands of variation options, not to mention that a singular variation option could exist in 10 other listings somewhere else in my shop, there was really no way for me to be able to see on a day-to-day basis what my actual profit was without doing crazy calculations and VLOOKUPs and pen and paper and just like all the things. So when it's that difficult to just analyze basic metrics that should just be available to you, what we tend to do is just avoid it altogether. And when we avoid keeping a strong eye on these important metrics in our business, it doesn't allow us to really, one, get a grasp of our business, but it also doesn't build an honest relationship with our business, because then we kind of make decisions kind of just on what we feel like instead of what the data is actually saying. And so like I mentioned, my team and I have spent the last year and a half building the solution to this problem, and it is called ProfitTree. It is the first ever real-time profit tracking solution for Etsy merchants. And basically with one click, you can sync your Etsy shop data to your ProfitTree account, and then you can immediately begin uploading your product costs on all of your items and begin tracking your true profit. Now I'm gonna hop into my computer screen and I'm gonna show you step-by-step how this actually works and all the different types of valuable information that ProfitTree gives you, because it goes way beyond just profit tracking. All right, let's hop into my computer.
All right, guys, now we are in a ProfitTree dashboard here. So basically, as you can see, this is a much simpler, cleaner dashboard that really tells you everything that you need to know about your Etsy selling fees, your cost, marketing, all that, all the good stuff. So as you can see, when you navigate into this net sales bucket, we show you line item by line item what is comprised of your net sales. Then from net sales, which is basically your gross sales less your shipping plus your shipping collected after discounts and refunds, we start subtracting out your costs. So your cost of goods sold bucket is the product cost associated with every sale that you got for every unique product, which we're going to show you how to set that up. And then we subtract out your operating expenses, so what your Etsy transaction fees, processing fees, listing fees, shipping costs to you, so what you paid for shipping labels, and all of your marketing costs with ads, what you're spending in real time. And we subtract these two things against your net sales, and that gives you your operating profit. Now, how does this compare to Etsy? Well, all of your metrics here are getting pulled in directly from your Etsy account ledger. So we're basically taking Etsy's data and we're sorting it for you and trying to make it way less confusing, plus giving you the capability to track product costs and see how your marketing is affecting your sales per a day to day. I mean, this does a lot more, but overall, you just have to go to one simple screen to get all of that data. Now, if you want to read more about how we compare, or the makeup of every single metric and how we're actually computing this, you can navigate to the ProfitTree Help Center, and we pretty much are making articles that explain every detailed thing about net sales, cost of goods sold. Every single thing is explained in here. If you want to read more about our metrics and how they're being computed compared to Etsy metrics. Other cool things is when you come down here to these widgets, you can see all of these metrics like your profit percentage, your amount of orders you're getting, your average order value, your ROAS, how much you're spending on ads. But what's cool is that we're comparing it to your previous time history. So if you came up here and you went to your last year's sales, you can see that how the changes that you're making in your store are being, how it's affecting over time. So you can see that in 2022, this shop virtually collected no money for shipping compared to that of 2023. See how the shipping collected is increased. So this graph is correlated to these widgets. Also shipping collected, and also the balance, how it's affecting, or how much money you actually basically are left over with after you minus out, the what you collected versus what you spend. Other cool things is like average order value. So average order value is something that you're always trying to increase over time. So in this shop, it's really, really flat. So that could be interesting. So for 2024, they could be thinking about ways that they could increase their average order value by, having higher ticket items to sell, stuff like that. Maybe a higher ticket item or a higher quality item, maybe bundling more items to try to increase, which this is already a super high AOV, but you kind of get the point. Same thing with orders. So we can see from 2022 to 2023, that increase really, really started happening. And then moving into 2023, it really leveled out. So maybe kind of plateauing here. So, we need to get into different product offerings and stuff like that. Really interesting stuff, really giving you a good visual of all of the things, your cost of goods sold, your ad costs, just visually in front of you. And then with that time period component, just really helps you make better decisions. Now, something that's curious here that's telling us that this account is not set up properly is that it's telling me that, there is 711 products that sold that are missing a cost of goods sold. So there is cost of goods sold here. So some of them are filled out, but there's still 711 products that are missing cost. So there's 3 ways to add costs to your ProfitTree account. So the first way is by, if you're selling, with a print-on-demand seller like Printify or Printful, you can come into integrations, and as long as you're using the SKUs, well, in Printful you don't need to use the SKUs, but if you have the SKUs in Printify and you push the same SKUs to Etsy, you can connect with Printify, and basically we can begin tracking your costs automatically. Now, if you use Printful listings and you don't use SKUs, you can do it either way. If you have the SKUs, great. If you don't have the SKUs, that's okay too. We can still correlate all of the listings that you have, unique listings that you have, with the listings. So that's the fastest way and the easiest way if you're selling with Printify or Printful. If you're not selling with Printify and Printful, the next option is you can come in here to these pencil icons and you can basically input the product cost manually. So we can update that cost here. I don't know, I'm just making this up. And now we have a product cost. I think this one already had a product cost, so we didn't have to do it. Here's another one here. And the difference between this error versus the NA error, this one is telling me that this product has made a sale without a cost of goods sold. This is telling me that it's just missing a cost of goods sold, but it didn't make a sale. So we would obviously want to prioritize the ones with the red triangles first. And this is a Printful listing, so technically we could just go and integrate with Printful, but for the sake of this video, I'm just showing you how you can update your costs. So when you update your costs, it's going to associate every sale that it got from the history of this listing to this cost of goods sold. Now, if you want to change your cost of goods sold for different time periods, because your cost of goods sold changed over time, you can update it a second time. So if we say, oh, it actually wasn't $11, it was $12, we can update that cost of goods sold here. And now we have a cost of goods sold history where basically the first sales that came in are associated to this cost of goods sold. and then we updated it to $12. So now moving forward, it's going to be $12. But if we wanted to change something with the cost period history for those previous sales that we got, we can come back here and we can hit that pencil icon, or we could add another different cost period history to say that, during this month or whatever, the cost was something different. Now, the third way and the fastest way to import your cost of goods sold is by going to your import COGS bulk uploader feature. And so basically we offer a template. So when you download our template, it's a super simple template that basically says that if you want to add your cost of goods sold in bulk, you just need to add all of your SKUs in this column and all of your product costs in this column. To use this feature, you need to have something called SKUs in your Etsy account. So if you don't utilize the SKU system, I would click the link below this video in the description, or cue that video next on how to build a SKU system for your store so that you can do this in bulk. Basically, SKUs do so many things for your store, so I would really recommend you understanding what a SKU system does. So the biggest things that SKUs do for you is that when you use a SKU system, so you can see here we have this SKU and it's telling me that this SKU exists in 2 listings across Etsy. So the biggest thing that SKUs do is that when you put SKUs into your Etsy listings and you sell that same SKU across multiple different listings, ProfitTree is going to consolidate that data for you. Like this one, for example, that says, you have this SKU in 2 different listings. When we go under product reports, we can see the consolidated history of that SKU. So if I look up that SKU, we can see here that last year, there's 2 listings that were active. One sold 3 units and one sold 2 units. And then we can see the consolidated data of that SKU in one place. So if you're selling this SKU across 20 different listings, we would want to see collectively how is that SKU performing together, but then also separately. So we know which listings to really focus on or which SKUs to really focus on a whole shop level. So SKUs are really important, but again, even if you don't have a SKU system, you can still come in here and do it manually. But again, click the link in the description to watch our whole SKU free training. And we even have a free SKU generator that helps you create your SKU system. Now we're going to upload a bulk data sample of SKUs into our template, and we're going to see this change from 710 and go down. So we downloaded our template. So the template looks like this. So we're going to go ahead and erase out these ones, and we're going to add our own. So this sheet is basically the same, but let's go ahead. We're going to copy here and we're going to upload it here. All right, so now we have our SKUs here. We're going to hit File. We're going to export to a CSV. We're going to save that. And we are going to, it's bulk COGS template 7. All right, now we are going to go grab that CSV file, and you can see that our product cost went down. The reason why it didn't go down by 20 is because some of those SKUs probably already had a cost of goods sold listed. And so that is why it didn't go down by the amount that was there, because basically if you add your cost of goods sold, or if you add a new if you re-upload a cost of goods sold that already exists on a SKU, then basically it will just update the cost of goods sold. So if we come in here and we look up our cost of goods sold, now you can see that all of these SKUs that we just uploaded have a cost of goods sold listed. So now when we come to the dashboard, a lot of those products that we just uploaded from the last 7 days, you can see that the cost of goods sold is increasing and the operating profit is decreasing. What you would want to do is immediately come in here and come into your product cost tab and either begin working on a SKU system or just inputting all of your product costs. But again, this tells you so much and it teaches you so much about how Etsy is charging you and all of the different pieces of your pie, of your business engine in one place. And again, all of this data is coming directly from your Etsy account ledger. So as you're getting in transactions as real time, we're basically just taking every single shop receipt that you get and we're sorting that information. Guys, I would highly check us out. you can sign up for our waitlist in the link in the description. This is going to make profit tracking and, better relationship building with your business so much more honest. It's going to be super, super beneficial for you when you can come to one place that you trust, because honestly, at the end of the day, you really don't want to trust a third-party platform that is biasly selling you goods and then also supposed to be, doing your analytics for you. Any, big Amazon seller, eBay seller, Walmart seller, you don't want to trust and bias, the platform that you're selling on for your analytics. It's really good to get a third-party service that helps you, understand the metrics and the true metrics and the things that are important for your store from somewhere else, because Etsy loves giving us vanity metrics to make us feel like we're doing really well, but not really hard, concrete insights. So again, make sure you go to the waitlist and sign up down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy checking out ProfitTree.
Thank you all so much for staying until the end of this video. Remember guys, we have a link for ProfitTree in the description down below, so you can get on that wait list. Also, don't forget to say hi to Rupert in the comment section. Hashtag Rupert. This is our money tree mascot. Super cute little plant. Or better yet, give me some advice on how to keep him alive, because he needs to live a long life, and I don't feel too confident in my plant skills, so give me some advice on that one. So advice is welcomed. All right guys, thank you so much. See you in the next video.